Joy family. Welcome to the Joyful House and welcome to my playground. This is number 27. It is the week of December the 8th through the 14th, 2025, and I hope that everyone is having an amazing week. Okay, we got a couple things to do. So before we get started, I would like for us to just right off the bat express our joy. Just be so thankful and grateful for today and everything that it has and it has already given us and for this new week ahead. So if you will, let's take a moment and shake our bones and express some joy. Here we go. All right, well, I hope you had some fun and I hope you expressed your joy and you are ready for this brand new week. Last week, we get to leave it behind us, good or bad, and see what this new week is going to bring us. So let's embark on this new journey. As we get ready to do that, we also have a couple of birthdays that we need to celebrate for this week. So if you will, join me in singing happy birthday to Viola. You may know her channel as Viola Lefevre's, Lydia, which is Yarn Works by Lydia, and Miss Susan Burke. So we need to celebrate Viola, Lydia, and Susan's birthdays. And if you have a birthday and you don't think I know when it is, let me know. You can either leave it in a comment below or you can email me, but that way we can celebrate your special day with you all week long as well. So if you will, join me in singing happy birthday to these three wonderful ladies. Helping me celebrate Viola, Lydia, and Susan's birthdays. And this week, we don't have any Joy Team members to recognize, although they are always worthy of recognition. So we're going to move on to something new that I want to do here as well on the playground videos, and that is welcome in all of our new Joy family. These are the folks that decide that they want to hit that subscribe button and be a part of the Joyful family. So if you will, let's recognize them. So our newest members are Carole from Broke But Bountifully Blessed. Love that name. And the next new Joy family member that we have is Rita Pacheco. And then Luke. Luke is our newest member. And so you will see a welcome to him out on the community post later today as well. And so if you will, help me celebrate and welcome Carole, Rita, and Luke into the Joy family. happened in the joyful house last week? It was kind of a busy week for us. Not a whole lot to share, and there's one event that happened that I wished I had thought to take pictures, but it was so cold that warmth was on our mind, not capturing the moment. But I'll get to that in a minute. So the last time we were together, I was telling you about the squirrel in my parents' porch, their screened in, closed in porch. And come to find out, it is not one baby squirrel, but it is two baby squirrels. And so the update on that is they are still having fun and teasing my parents, like literally will come to the door and look in at them. But we have discovered that they are actually climbing the wall and climbing the door jamb of the sliding glass doors to get back up into the roof area of the porch. So it's been funny, but not so funny. And of course, we haven't had a lot of update reports on that. As many of you know, that my mom has been in the hospital since last Tuesday. I do thank you for all of your prayers, and I do have an update on all of that I'll give in a minute, but let's finish the squirrel story. So the gentleman that actually repaired their roof when the tree fell onto the porch from that hurricane a year ago, he is going to be coming back out and working on getting that fixed and repairing that. He does admit that it is probably his fault because he didn't quite close in those ends where the squirrels were getting in. So he is definitely going to be working on that starting tomorrow. And then he is going to work on helping them a little bit more with their handicap ramp. So good things ahead for that. My mom, she did come home from the hospital Saturday evening, really late. And I did give you guys an updated report on that yesterday evening. She did go to her primary doctor today, and they were there for quite some time, but a lot of good things happened there. And their home is going to be rather busy for the next little bit. She's going to have 6 different individuals coming out to monitor different things for her, whether it's taking x-rays or physical therapy or, monitoring her vitals, all that kind of stuff. So she's going to have a lot of care coming in and out of the house for the next little bit. So it's going to be a transition. It's going to be tiring, but she is overall doing very well. They did determine that it was definitely not a stroke, but it was a UTI that caused all of this, the confusion, the inability to communicate and speak. So there'll be someone coming out to work with her on her speech therapy and all of that. But she's doing better. She's able to have a conversation. She's not able to focus on more than one thing. So a lot of times I have to talk really slow, which is perfectly fine. And then I do a lot more listening than I do talking. So that way she has the confidence to communicate what she's trying to say and the space and the quietness to process those thoughts and put them into words. So very, very grateful, very, very blessed. But yeah, it's going to be busy, but a little quiet on the same aspect because of the fact that there's going to be so much going on, and in between all of that, she's going to need to rest. So, and rest is very, very good. On a more positive note, today I am very sorry, as always, that I'm getting this video started late and out late, but today started off kind of rough for me. I went to pick up Trayvon from work, and I came home and laid back down. I had a really bad headache. I've never had a head. I mean, I've had some headaches over the last couple years, but none like what I had today. Like, it was unbearable. And of course, it was closer to the front of my head, so it's not like I could even put pressure on it. But I did find if I could keep my hand on it and my eyes closed, it seemed to relieve it. Of course, I'm not one to take medicine, so for me, sleep is always the answer. And I am feeling a little bit better. And then Grandma Joyful, Miss Faye, Todd's mom, had her physical therapist come in this afternoon and was here a little bit longer than normal. Normally they're here for about an hour, but that's because he was doing all the progress reports to release her. So she no longer has physical therapy, and so no one will be coming in anymore, but certainly their services are readily available should we find that we need them in the future. So she's happy and she wants to know if we're going to throw a party tonight. So I do have my Joy Team live tonight. So, but we'll definitely make sure we have something maybe special for dinner and get Todd to pick her up some kind of sweet treat to definitely celebrate her wonderful, wonderful progress. So good news, good news, good news for sure. So the event that I was talking about that happened last week that I wished I'd have thought to take some pictures. It would have been really cute for you guys to see us all cuddled up in blankets in the car. But last Thursday, we had to take her son Sam to Columbia, on the far side of Columbia, to renew his license for his security job. And most of the time, those classes are about 3 to 4 hours long. So we went prepared that once we dropped him off, because normally when I've taken Trayvon or my son in the past, they always had the 8:30 class. And but Sam had a 1:30 class. So we took him and got there on that side of town a little early, so we were able to pick up some lunch. And then we went and dropped him off, and in the parking lot we had our lunch, and then we snuggled up under blankets, and then with my phone we watched a Netflix movie. And when I got brave enough, I would crochet just a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I've been working on. I think I've already shown it to you once, but I'll show you the progress I've made. But we just look so cute, snuggled up in our blankets. And occasionally I'd turn the car on and put some more heat in the car. But luckily, Sam's class did not last as long as the other classes normally do. And honestly, I think that's because they had so many folks that had 4 o'clock shifts that they wanted to get them in and out so that they could go and do their 4 o'clock shifts, and they didn't have to find replacements for them until they could get there to do their shift. So it didn't last as long as we expected. But anyway, but nonetheless, we got back, and us girls, after we got him back and he was headed off to work, we were kind of tired, so we laid down and took a nap. And so we had a good Thursday afternoon nap. I almost forgot to include this, so I cut what I was saying off for just a moment, and I'm going to insert this in. But this is what I have been working on. So it is the Joy sweater. That is the sweater that I have designed and I'm working on in Crafts of the Heart. Which, by the way, I am so sorry that that did not come out this past weekend. I was literally trying to take time getting ready for the bingo. So we went through some of the yarn that I had in the craft room left over from some of the mystery make-alongs, and some other yarn that I had just recently ordered, and was able to pull some things out of that. And so that took some time. And so because of that, I was not able to get that video out. But nonetheless, this is something I've been working on. It is the Joy sweater. It is in Red Heart yarn. Currently, I'm using the burgundy. That is the main color. And then the only other colors, are the Red Heart white and the Red Heart black. But this is a sweater that I am trying to make for Todd's mom and hope to surprise her. But anyway, it is coming out very nicely and working up fast. Unfortunately, I only worked on it a little bit that Thursday that we were in the parking lot, and I have not touched it since. And it's been probably 3 or 4 days before that since I had last touched it. So hopefully I'll get to do that some this week as well. All right, back to our uh, already in progress video. And of course, Friday night here in the Joyful House, we had movie night. And instead of watching one Charlie Brown Christmas movie, we actually were able to watch three because Todd had found two extras that we had never seen before. So that was fun and exciting. And then we watched It's a Wonderful Life. And oh my gosh, it was just so good to watch that and enjoy the company that was there with us here in the Joyful House. And then Saturday was my Eagle Live, and the Eagles and I, we had a really good time. We worked on projects, and I worked on Stranger Things. What? So definitely making some progress there. And so we had a really, really good time. And then Sunday, which was yesterday, Mr. Joyful helped me go through all of my yarn, and we have gathered yarn to fill the Santa sacks, and I am pretty certain that we have pulled enough yarn off the wall and out of some of the bins that I have here in the Joyful House. There's one back there, and there's two down below my desk here, but we went through all of them, and even some up on the cabinet up here, which it doesn't look like I've taken anything, but you guys, I have more than enough yarn for those Santa bags and then some. So I'm excited because I will have yarn to give away in 2026. So exciting, exciting. And a lot of it, to be honest, is stuff that I necessarily wouldn't use to make baby clothes. Now that I know that making baby clothes is my thing, I have some other fun, exciting yarns that I wanted to work with. But if I know that this is my go-to and that's what I really want to focus my joy of crafting and crocheting on, then I would rather take that lovely yarn and share it with, my Joy family. So very excited about that. And that pretty much wrapped up our week. And so not only did I get to go through the yarn, but I was able to kind of organize the studio once again. And oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. Now I have a little refrigerator over here because I was able to get rid of some things. And then the shelving and stuff over here is different, and where the sewing machine is. And so I'm excited. And of course, I was able to spread things out more and actually get my printer here on the desk. So I've got my two monitors, I've got my printer, and I've got my actual computer. So I was able to kind of clean up and get rid of things. And I was able to get rid of some shelving units that I had in here. So it's a little bit more spacious in here. And so I absolutely love it. So the moral of that story is when we learn to share what we have, normally I would say we can make room to receive more blessings. But in my case, the blessing of sharing gave me more open space. And if you know anything about me, I am such a neat freak. It is the one thing that Mr. Joyful and I do not have in common, but nonetheless, I love for things to be organized. And I apologize. I thought I had muted that. I love for things to be organized. And so more space is good for me. Less is more. Which reminds me that some of my goals for 2026, I don't necessarily make New Year's resolutions, because I feel like if I were to make New Year's resolutions, I kind of set myself up for failure, because then when I don't do them or I don't successfully reach those goals, then I kind of feel like I was not successful. And, that's not the case. So I have set some goals, and my two crafting goals are, I want to definitely in 2026 learn how to do Tunisian crochet, and I want to make Christmas stockings, whether they are crochet or knitted, but I am actually leaning more towards knitting them. But we'll see. My personal goals are, I want to work smarter, not harder, less is more, and I truly want to live a life that is mindfully fulfilled. So I want to live a life of fulfillment, but I want to be mindful about it. And what does that mean? That means I want to not constantly be having to do something in every minute of the day. I want to be able to literally take deep breaths and enjoy what's going on. More quality time. And so, with that being said, I am making some changes on the channel. No one seems to have noticed or hasn't said anything that there was no joy word last week. And that's because I was actually going to stop doing the joy words, because the amount of time that it takes to create that short, you would think with it being a 3-minute short, it doesn't take a lot of time, but it does, because I've got to film what I'm going to have as your video. Then I've got to look up the word, come up with the definitions, and then what does it mean in the joyful house? The part about what it means in the joyful house is the easiest part, because that comes from my heart and my own brain. But the rest of it, it's all research and filming. And so it takes about 5.5 hours to make one of those shorts, because then I have to edit it, render it into a video, handbrake it, which compresses it, then upload it to my phone to make it into the short. And so, long story short, I was going to quit doing them. But I mentioned to a couple friends and some of the Joy Team members that I was going to do that. And there was a reaction of kind of sadness, because they really look forward to that joy word. They really look forward to that positive affirmation. And I understand that. And that's part of what my channel is about, other than the whole crocheting aspect, is I do want it to be a place of joy. I do want it to be a place of where someone can come in and feel safe and secure and have that encouragement and those positive affirmations. So I'm going to try something and see how it works. And that is, I will incorporate a joy word in our Monday playground videos. And so at the moment, I'm going to continue. Hey, beautiful. And I still thought I had muted that. I apologize, you guys. Oh, my phone is locked. That's why it's not. Okay. And we'll see how it goes. Now, for the one for today, it is the video that I originally had made for last Monday. So I'm going to incorporate it here. I do not know going forward if they will be like what you see today with an actual nature video and the word, or if I just read the word off here. Certainly, I would love your feedback, because I'm always out and about that I could get videos. I still have, pardon me, plenty of videos from Mr. Joyful and my trip to the cabin that I can use with those. So we'll see. But the same word or the same rule will apply. If you use the word in your comment below, you will get an extra entry on the Tea Party giveaway wheel for using that word. Just be mindful that you use the word in an appropriate way. And when I say that, sometimes I have comments that just kind of use the word. And for example, let's just say the word is joy. They'll say, joy makes me happy. Well, what about joy makes you happy? You know, so try to really use the word in an actual sentence, so to speak. So anyway, okay. So today I am going to introduce your new word for this week, and it is the word bloom. Bloom. So here is your joy word for this week. Your joy word for this week is bloom. Bloom. The definition of bloom means to flourish or grow or come into your full form, often in a visually or metaphorically striking way. The word bloom in life emphasizes personal growth, potential, and finding happiness, often using the metaphor of a flower. Popular themes include blossoming into one's full potential, the importance of love and hope, and the idea that everyone blooms in their own time. I have a couple quotes I want to share with you about bloom to encourage you this week. The first one is, "Nothing in nature blooms all year, so be patient with yourself." "Every flower blooms in its own time." That's by Ken Petty. "The flowers that bloom tomorrow are the seeds that you planted today." Blooming can be quiet, not necessarily a public display, and it involves silent healing and finding peace amidst chaos. And finally, individuals are not behind or too late. They are blooming according to their own timing. So what does the word bloom mean here in the Joyful House? Well, it means to step into your full potential and shine your brightest. Step into your full potential and shine your brightest. Well, I certainly hope you will bloom and grow into your full potential this week. All right, a couple other quick things to wrap up, and then we're going to jump into chasing our fun for this week. I want to remind you that this Friday, Ivy from IVB Creates and I are going to be hosting a Grinchy Bingo. I do hope that you will make plans to be there. We're going to start at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be here in the Joyful House. There is a video that I have put out, 2 of them actually, but the most recent one was last Friday. If you have not already given us your numbers, all you need to do is leave a comment on that video and give us your numbers 1 through 75. We need 5 numbers. So it could be any numbers between 1 and 75. And we are excited. We've got quite a few donations that have been given. And so excited to see all that will happen there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's where I'm going to be giving those Santa sacks that I was just talking about at. Okay. Also, excuse me, Saturday night of this week, we are going to have a pajama party here in the Joyful House. And it is going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is scheduled to go to midnight. That's right, 6 hours. You can come in anytime you want during that time and party with us. But for those that come in right at 6, and you can join us later and I will help you out. But if you want to come in and have the whole time with us, we are going to be working on a project, and it's behind me. So let me grab it real quick. All right. We are going to be doing a make-along together, and I've already got out on the community post what you need to be a part of this pajama party if you decide to participate. But we are going to make a Christmas doily. It only contains 16 rounds, so it's going to be very doable. And I've had this one folded up in 4s, so it's kind of curled up a little bit on me, but it does lay back out flat. But it's 16 rounds, and the main stitch that we use is a double crochet, but we do sometimes do single and slip stitches. But most of it is double crochet, and it works up rather fast. Again, there's only 16 rounds, and it looks rather big. but it will not take us a long time. In fact, I'm not even anticipating it taking us the entire 6 hours, but we're going to be there nonetheless, having fun. So if we get finished, we're going to continue to hang out. So have another project handy that you can just sit back and relax with us. And so I'm very, very excited about that. So I hope you'll come spend a little bit of time with us here Saturday night at the Joyful House for this pajama party. And I am planning to do a pajama party once every quarter. So we will do another one sometime around the end of March, the middle end of March, and then so forth. Every 3 months we'll have a pajama party. So I'm very, very excited about that. All right. I think that's all that really needs to be said. So if you're ready, we're going to chase our fun. But before we jump into chasing our fun for this week, excuse me, last week, our Chase the Fun was being an amateur at faith, and our Chase the Fun challenge was to talk about where we needed some hope and freedom in our life, and we were to ask God to amaze us. And so I hope that you had a moment where you connected with God and you've really truly felt that He had blessed you. For me, it may not seem fancy or over the top, but just what He has done in my mother-in-law and my mother's life over the last 7 days has truly amazed me, that God can truly work miracles. He can do anything with any of us, and that we truly are designed with a purpose, regardless of our age, our limitations, and that I truly believe that all things happen for a reason. Even with my mom's situation, the people she encountered, the change that she made in their life, the change they made in her life, and believe it or not, her hospital stay may have even provided a job for one of our family members. And I don't really have liberty to go into that, but I mean, I truly believe that if God leads us to something, He will take us through it. He has a plan. He has our tomorrows. And before we even arrive to today, He knows what's going to happen, and He already knows how things are going to turn out on the other side. And so I love that. So if you're ready, it is time to chase our fun. So let's chase our fun for this week. Our Chase the Fun for this week is to be an amateur at crafting. That's right, I said crafting. So I'm excited about this week because this is right up my alley. How about you? All right, Dieter F. Uchtdorf said, "The desire to create is one of the deepest yearnings of the human soul." The desire to create is one of the deepest yearnings of the human soul. I definitely agree, since I am a very crafty person. We were always meant to make stuff, to take natural resources and turn them and flip them and combine them into something that matters to our planet and helps humans flourish. I mean, we're all made in the image of God, and the actual first thing we see Him do in the Bible is creating. Day and night, earth and sky, sea and land, plants and animals, atoms and cells. The imagination, the order, the detail, the intentionality. The fact that He invites Adam into the process of naming the animals. All of it just fascinates me and makes me grin from ear to ear, and sometimes, maybe, even makes my eyes leak from sheer wonder. Here's what I need you to hear, though. You are creative. You are. You have that in you. And what you create, it doesn't have to fit in the traditional, conventional fine arts like painting or music or writing, though it can. Maybe you create paintings or stories or songs. Maybe you create warm and welcoming experience for people with your gift of hospitality. Maybe you create spreadsheets that provide clarity. Maybe you create delicious apple fritters or other culinary masterpieces. And if you do, send me some. I'll be your taste tester. No, seriously. Maybe you create playlists. Maybe you are a choreographer. Maybe you create chore charts or organizational tools, curriculums, or even flower gardens. The key isn't specifically what you create, it's more that you create. That you take the risk of investigating the spark that's in you, that thing that you're passionate about or interested in or curious to know more about, and that you do something with it. You don't allow it to simply stay an interest or an idea. Rather, you combine your interest and ideas with what's already in the world, and you make something new with your fingerprints all over it. You see, the world needs the unique that only you can make. It brings beauty, a smile, connection, and new perspective. The difference that it could make really matters. That's right, that means you matter too. No one can do what you can do, my friends. No one else can make happen what you can make happen. So even if you're new at it, even if you feel a little bit clumsy, even if it doesn't feel useful, give yourself permission to create anyway. I have to tell you, the collaboration that I just finished doing last week with those wonderful ladies was like truly a joyful experience. It was nice to take an object and try to come up with something creative with it. I kind of wish that I knew that they were all going to do it in one project, because I think that would have been fun. But it'll be all right. I'm kind of also glad that I made the projects that I made because, one, I had fun, and two, I've learned something. You see, my plates, if you haven't seen that video, then you may not understand what I'm about to share, but if you have, then you will. And if you haven't, go back and check that out, as well as the other collaborators. Because Nancy and Pam and Kimberly did amazing jobs as well. But the plate and the Christmas tree, they received lots of praise. They received lots of encouraging words and affirmations, but not so much on the snowmen. And you see, the plates pretty much, and the Christmas tree, they're not even in the joyful house. They've already been gifted and taken. But nobody really liked the snowmen, and no one really wanted them, although I tried. And I was at the point that I was about to just take a little of the things off of it and throw it away when I read a comment on the channel, and someone said they love the snowmen. And I was like, what? And so I'm not going to throw them away. And if they happen to be listening to this video, they'll know who they are because they are the only one who commented that they like the snowmen. Those snowmen are being boxed up and shipped to them. So I hope that they and their kiddos will enjoy those snowmen. All right. Are you ready for your Chase the Fun challenge? Let's go see what our challenge is for this week. Our Chase the Fun challenge is, first off, what do you love to create? And it says spend some time this week creating it. So you have some opportunities to get some entries in on our December wheel. If you leave a comment, you get an entry. If you leave a comment with a joy word, you get an extra entry. And if you would go as far as telling me what your favorite craft is, and as we learned in Chasing the Fun today, crafting is a lot more than just painting and creating something. It might be creating apple fritters or hosting a party or whatever. But what is your craft of choice? And if you share that with me, then you have an opportunity for 3 entries on the giveaway wheel. Okay, so it's that time where I leave you to go chase your fun. Have a great and amazing week, my friends. Be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, make your own joyful creations, and be the joy in everything you do. And while you're doing all of that, don't forget to give yourself a hug daily. All right. Nugs and joy. Mwah. I love you, and I'll see you next week. And I almost forgot, but I'm glad I didn't. I had some folks that sent in some pictures of them chasing their fun. So I hope you enjoy these and hope you'll share yours with me as well so I can share them out here on the channel and we can all celebrate chasing our fun together. Now, I'll see you next week.